okay. Tukuriada, my friend. Tukuriada indeed. Welcome again to another episode with me, your friend. Uh, the community of Tukuriada continues to expand. New subscribers. Sit back, enjoy my company, enjoy Tukuriada, a perspective in athletics, and you are welcome. Embraced and told you are safe here, my friend. You are always safe with Tukuriada. This is a place, excitement, exuberance, and exchange of ideas, thoughts in athletics, sports, life. And how is your life, by the way? You can always share, As I say, if you are safe here, you can always tell me what's going on in your world. Your world is different from mine, I suspect. And so here we go in another, as I say, another episode. And this is a non championship year. Olympics is 2 years away from now. And so this year is claiming casualties, winners, losers on the road, marathon, half marathon, 10K, all those road events. So we are on the road pretty much. But before we got there, you don't forget we have World Championship coming up in Poland this coming weekend, the 22nd, 21st, 22nd. It's gonna be a thrilling weekend. I'm seeing some of these, countries. I'm looking at America, whom they are sending. I have to say this is always they are sending second or third or even nobody. And so I don't expect much action in this indoor season. But whoever goes there, I suspect or I think they're gonna do very well. It must be. It must live up to the hype of indoor championship in Poland. I saw that the relay team is sending nobody from America 4x4, so it's America. And yet, I think for me, they should be sending anybody. They have depth. It's just disappointing when you see countries sending B team, C team, or even no team at all for indoor. It's underrepresented. Most countries don't invest a lot. I would say that I won't blame countries in the southern sphere. If you're thinking of Kenya, Ethiopia, maybe other countries in Africa, they don't have those facilities, so they don't participate. They don't train indoor. So some of them are like, well, we'll just send you whatever we have. So it's gonna be a kind of a low key compared to the championship we see in the past. Again, there might be surprises, but looking forward to Poland this coming weekend. Last weekend, we had, of course, the NCAA championship. Check my take on what I thought about the 3K final. I thought it was robbery on the highways and the byways of NCAA. The officials just blew up. They blew that one on the 3K. It was pretty much, I think, a missed call. Just my take. Check my episode, what I thought about that. Today, we're staying on the road and we are in New York. Sunday, it happened. And the headliner is always the local boy. The locals have to get the headlines. And Grant Fisher grabbed the headlines for the wrong reason. He's grabbing the headlines for being a loser. He was 14th in United Airlines NYS half marathon. And yet, of course, we know him to be great. He's a world record holder in 3,000 indoor and 5K indoor. But being a world record holder, he could not hold his own. He tried to go with the veterans in road race or marathoners or half marathoners. This is his debut, and he faded really bad. Uh, he, of course, after the race, he has to give us a whole interview of why. And it was good for him. Let's give him that. It's his debut. He comes 14th. His time was nothing spectacular, honestly. He ran pedestrian time, 60 minutes. Not bad for debut. I've never done that, but for his caliber, I don't think it's bad. Yeah, I expected more. Um, one of the things he shares, of course, in the interview, that he is not ready yet. He has to use this template, a launching pad, an experience he needed under his belt moving forward. But of course, he's a headliner. Being 14th place, he has to get that headline and a lot of conversation after, what is, before that, of course, the talk was like, hey, Grant Fisher debut is going to destroy the field. He's in shape. He is in shape, but he's not in shape for road. Road is a different beast. I've never done it, but there's one thing he admits that there's a lot of surging. There's there's some paces that he wasn't used to. You could be in the front runners, and then all of a sudden they just take off. And if you're not used to that surging, where they accelerate and then they slow down, and they accelerate and they slow down. Is that what is that? Fartlek? Is that fartlek kind of a training where you in your training you're going maybe 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, and all that stuff? Maybe Grant Fisher will learn from this. But the winner is Adriaan Wildschutt. He's South African in a 59:30. Zawhar Talbi, second place, 59:41. Those guys. And then third place was Galvia Singh, 59:42. Quite a good top crop there, 59s there. And yes, that's New York for men. Of course, the local boys struggled. Yeah, and that's what happens on the road. It's not, you cannot compare track and road. You have to, it's a learning curve, and I think you learn with time. The women was veterans at the core. The matriarch, Olympiad, world champion, the lady from Bosongo Ime, those sides of Kenya, my friend. She's acclimatized in Colorado. She's been training here in America for a while with her family. I'm talking of Helen freaking Obiri. Our nemesis Sharon Lokedi and Agnes Ngetich. Those were the protagonists from the get-go. And how did it pan out? Hey, my friend, Agnes Ngetich thought she could just be a front runner. She's gonna stop the wind for everybody else. She became the pacemaker at most. She surged to the front. She forgot it was 30 degrees or maybe a little bit close to 35. It's in New York. And Agnes Ngetich thought she was in Florida doing cross country. She paid the ultimate price at the end, coming fourth. And I tell you what, listen, fourth, no, she faded really bad. Hold on, did I say fourth? No, Agnes Ngetich, the front runner, faded really bad to 13th place. Well, Grant Fisher would have enjoyed that company. Poor Agnes Ngetich. And the wind, the cold of New York caught up with the front runner. She faced really bad. Helen Obiri, as usual, man. This woman, my friend, you have to give some flowers to this matriarch, veteran, top-notch trailblazer. Give her all the love you can. She's been around and she is still relevant. Every time you see anything Boston, New York, she's thinking of going to a London Marathon now. She's crossing the pond. Helen freaking Obiri will always be in the equation. She's going to be in the conversation in any half marathon. She's won enough, but she's not done. Sharon Lokedi holds her place in second place, and Megan Keith, the Brit, comes third. And that's it, my friend, the top three. But the conversation here, this is what I like. The headlines doesn't even give it to Helen Obiri. They give it to Grant Fisher, of course. Nobody says anything about Helen. Whatever. I'm giving her headlines here to Korea. There's a place where I saw something Helen Obiri was talking about the race. She said that when she saw Agnes Ngetich take the race from the gun to the twilight, she was petrified and scared. She's like, wow, I don't think I'm going to catch up with these guys. Of course, is experience. She's a she's a professor by now in road races, marathons. She's the mother, as I say, the matriarch, and she knew what she's going to do. And at the end, she does what she's always done. The last mile, if she's around, Helen Obiri is coming after whatever. And she wins this one in style in that kind of conditions. Kind of chilly, wasn't it? Yes, it was. And the strong winds, of course, did not favor the tropical animals from Africa, Ethiopia in particular, and Kenya. They will pay the ultimate price. If you haven't been training here in America in these cold conditions, That's what happens. And that was that in New York, New York, my friend. The winner in the men is Adriaan Wildschutt. Wildschutt, that's a very interesting name. Shoot. Ah, all right. That's the name spelled out correctly on note for my pronunciation. It does very well. He wins that one. South African. There's some tidbits here they call them. What are tidbits? Oh, yeah, this is what Helen Obiri was saying that, oh my goodness, Obiri recalled when asked about it. I said, I can't survive this pace, but I told myself I'm also the best. You see, that's veteran right there talking. She knows. She knows how to wheel them in. And of course, Sean and Katie. Yeah, these two here, they've been around. They know each other. Boston will be, last year, Lokedi won. Let's see what's going to look like this coming year as they meet again. Yes, Obiri holds off Sharon in that one. There's another event I thought was interesting with the time I'm looking at here. There's a marathon that was run in Barcelona. A very interesting marathon, if I may interject. I've never heard of this Fotyen Tsegay from Ethiopia, 2:10:51. Does it raise any flags? Not yet. Remember Ruth Chemngetich 209 and people were screaming she must be running with some pharmaceutical aiding product. Of course, she's been suspended for 3 years. Is it banned? Is that banned or suspended? Whichever you look at it. Yeah, Ruth Chemngetich, the 209 Chicago winner 2 years ago, she's out of the equation. But now here comes Fotyen Tsegay in Barcelona, 2:10:51. Second best time. Second best time? How can 2:09:56? Was it ratified as the legit time for Ruth Chemngetich? What are we talking about here, people? After she tested positive, does that time stand? Are we going to say she's the best of all time now with the 209 and Fotyen Tsegay is 2:10? I don't know. I don't do these things, but this is what I know. Tsegay is the winner in Barcelona. My word, she ran a 63 the first half. Oh, my goodness. 63 is an envy of many men, by the way, in half marathon. And this woman does it in the half marathon to win in 2:10. Oh, Lord. Uh, are women capable of running 2:10, 2:11, 2:09? What is the barrier? What is the barrier? What is the ultimate goal for women? I'm having issues though because I think we question women so much when they run too fast. And of course, Ruth didn't have the cause when she tested positive. So she ran a 209 and she tested positive. And now everybody is saying, oh, if you run a 210, you must be juiced up. I cannot speculate on the Ethiopian running these times at this in her debut in marathon, by the way. So are we going to raise flags and red flags, so to say, asterisks, discussions? That's part of the conversation we have. Until proven otherwise, we're going to talk about these kind of fast times. 210 is fast for women. By the way, at one point it was men's time, and now it's women's time, 210. But she's been around though. I'm looking at her portfolio. She was in the World Championship. She was seventh in the World Championship. She's ran consistently some half marathons, decent times. She's coached by a great coach from Ethiopia, Gemudu Dedofo, who has coached Tiskit Asefa, who is 211. Awi Feasa 214, Amene Beriso 214, Waknesh Dekafa 250. So this is a coach who has done well with whoever he's been given. And so people are asking where has she been? And as people don't forget, Ethiopia has a civil war that has kind of fragmented and isolated some parts of the country. And so the agent was saying that she could not travel. There was traveling restrictions were put in some areas of Ethiopia. I can understand that. And when she, according to agent, when she found her training and she found her groove and she was doing very well, they said just go for it. Their goal was 216. That was the goal, which is interesting. And then she runs at 210. 216 and then 210. Oh, all right. So I'm just, for me, I'm just looking at the background of this woman who has just shocked the world, if I may use the word shock here. I hope it's legit. That's a problem. We live in an age whereby we are suspicious. There's a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of illegitimate stuff happening. So some of us who are looking at the times, we're like, 210. 210 is, yeah, could be the best time in the world right now or ever, given the fact that Ruth was found wanting with that 209. So let it rest. But I'll give it at that. I'll leave it at the manager, Monica Ponchafa. That's our managers talking. Of course, English is an issue for some of the Ethiopian athletes, and they have agents are the ones who speak on their behalf. So we are not hearing much from her in particular. It's the agents, maybe the coaches, which is normal. Um, According to the coach here, he's saying that during training, she was doing things I've never seen someone doing. I don't know what that means. Uh, though she had injuries, by the way, before even this race. And so she's been having some things that have been holding her back until Barcelona. And in Barcelona, she busted off and ran a 210. Good for her. I can't complain. I like to be part of the stories of the great marathon runners. Let's not forget Ethiopia has had incredible marathon runners. And they have good reputation. I have to give them those flowers. I have to give them those PR. Like I've tried to compare them to Kenya. Kenya, we have issues. We are being suspected. We are on the blacklist when it comes to our performance. So if we run great time, people are like, "Oh, what do you mean? It's from Kenya," and people already going into the FBI files to find out whether Kenyans are legit. And it's not good for Kenya, by the way. I'm not saying this uh, lightly. I think our reputation is up for redemption, and I don't know how long or whether anybody is taking it seriously. But Ethiopia has done very well overall. There's a few culprits as usual. Every country has those fallouts of doping. But for me, I think I'll give this lady flowers right now. Fotyen Tsegay, 2:10:51, and half marathon, a best half marathon is 63:20:21. Wow, la la. So she's legit, you know. I think she's running almost close to some men who might be saying that. I don't know why we compare men and women. I think it's stupid. I don't like it. The fact that even during this race in Barcelona, she had to be paced by men. I've always liked the pure way of doing things. Let men do their thing. Let women do their thing. It's okay. Whatever comes out, comes out. We should not be whatever. People say, non-binary. Okay, but in sports, in certain ways, we should allow some of these races to unfold naturally and organically. Let's not force it. I voiced my opinion too on what's her name, Faith Kipyegon debut in 10K with men just all over her in pacing. I think there are women who can do it. We should give them an opportunity. They're running 210, they're running 211. There should be somebody somewhere who can pace or who can be a rabbit for some of these great times women are doing. So I'm just a purist. It's a little bit too much, maybe. I don't mind the intermingling or mixing it up, but sometimes give women an opportunity to do what they are good at doing. Okay, and then yes, that is it for Tsegay. She wins in Barcelona in incredible time of 2:10, and that's it for me from Tukuriaga again. I was catching up with the weekend that passed by quickly because, as I told you in my last one, I was having a good time in some lava springs somewhere in southern Oregon. And I'm catching up from Barcelona, New York, and the winners take it all. Shannon Locady, second place as Helen Obiri. That's it. That's Vay, the winner, 2:10, 52, 51. I don't remember the micros. Anyway, talk to you guys again. Remember, as I keep saying, take the liberty to visit with me anytime you can by subscribing. It's the easiest thing you can ever do, and your life could be complete in athletics as you listen to this voice from the wilderness. Talk to you later.